Hey everybody, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Spencer.
And we're the Movie Bros.
Bringing you honest movie reviews you can trust.
Today we saw Tenet. So Spencer, what'd you think?
First off, let me just say we're here in downtown Santa Cruz, and it's really nice to be out at a movie theater seeing a movie. I have missed this. It's been a long time overdue. I wish we could have seen Mulan in theaters. Some of these other ones that are hopefully coming out, I hope that this is a trend that kind of picks up as things progress.
Absolutely. It was really nice being able to see a movie on a big screen, seeing it as it had been released to the rest of the public. So let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
What did you think about the movie?
There's a lot to unpack here. I'm just gonna babble.
Absolutely.
I thought it was excellent. This is definitely true to Christopher Nolan form. It was big sound, big action, complex plot, some kind of mind twisters.
Absolutely. I thought the movie itself was really complicated, true to form. I'm gonna have to watch the movie again.
Yes.
And just like some of the other movies, if you're not familiar with Christopher Nolan, he did Inception, Tenet, The Dark Knight, Interstellar. Yeah. The movies are really complicated, and this movie was no exception. Yeah. I'm still thinking about the movie.
I'm going to be thinking about it for a while. I'm glad that you said it first. I feel exactly the same way. I'm going to have to see this one again.
Yep.
I think I got most of it, but much in the same way that you kind of wanted to rewatch it to see, all right, is he in reality? Is he levels deep in the dream? This has some similar qualities where I feel like you're going to get more out of it that second time around. You may get the general idea now, but there's a few moments where you're like, how does that really work?
Yeah, because the movie is all about time manipulation.
Yes.
I think there was a lot of controversy with the trailers about what the concept of the movie was really about. And this movie was nothing like what I think most people thought the movie was going to be about. I think they were thinking that it was a prequel to Inception, or that it was a part 2 to Inception. It was not. It had nothing to do with Inception.
Yeah, completely unrelated. I felt like it was, I was thinking this during the movie. I'm like, it seems like a better James Bond. Like, the main character, who's John David Washington plays, seems to kind of be this James Bondish character, which has similarities. I mean, he's a CIA operative who has a mission go bad and then kind of gets recruited to this secret time task force, if you will, that's charged with saving the world. I mean, I'm not going to say a lot more than that. There's so much in the movie to unpack that I promise giving you that does not spoil anything.
Yeah, I think you, without giving away anything about the movie, not that we're going to give a lot away, because we're still probably both a little confused about everything. We're trying to fully comprehend what happened in the movie. Let's talk about some of the other aspects of the movie then. I thought the movie visually was stunning. I love the locations for this, that ocean wind farm, to many of the other locations. I don't know where they were.
Russia. I mean, beautiful coast of either Italy or Greece. I couldn't exactly tell. I mean, just wonderful shots. It feels like it may have been shot in IMAX at one point. The pictures are kind of that stunning. It feels like something that would scale up really well if you were to see it in a larger theater. The movie theater that we went to was a little bit smaller, but I think there are some qualities here that if you have that opportunity to go see this in an XD or an IMAX format, it's going to be that much better, because the sound is dialed up to 11. The soundtrack, though it does get a little bit repetitive at points, it really does a great job of like getting your pulse pounding. You're like, I thought it was fantastic.
Absolutely, and I think to kind of piggyback on what Spencer said, the locations were great. I thought the color of the movie looked good. The sound was excellent. Unfortunately, we had to drive 40 miles to get to a movie theater because we live in the Bay Area and there are no movie theaters that are open. So we saw it on a smaller screen. I agree. I think maybe if we get a chance to go see it in a big screen, it would be better.
I would do that for this. Like,
absolutely.
I went and saw Dark Knight like 3 or 4 times in IMAX.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed, but it was great.
There was some stuff that I'm not sure
Hit me with
were
the question. I think I have a good understanding. Let's try this.
What did you not like about the movie?
That's a good question. That's a fantastic question.
Because we want to be transparent in our.
I'll let Past Spencer give you the answer. Past Spencer went into this movie with low expectations. He came out pretty blown away. Things that I did not like really though. It is, I think, a little bit difficult to follow at times. I do think that that's almost semi-intentionally done. I mean, it is meant to be complex, but there are times where you're kind of wondering, like, you lose track and things are happening so quickly that it can be easy to kind of lose your place and then kind of get lost from there. Like, if you don't reestablish where you are backwards, forwards, it's very hard to follow.
Yeah, blue team, red team. It can be a really confusing movie to watch.
Yes.
And I think this is one reason why we're going to watch the movie again, just so that we get a better grasp on what happened and how it happened and in the order that it happened.
I don't know that it necessarily takes away. See, like, I
think it adds to the mystique of the movie. It adds to the...
It does. I can also see it being a turn off though. I had heard rumblings that it was a little bit difficult to follow, and I can see why people would say that, but simultaneously I think that's part of what makes the movie so interesting and intriguing, and one that you can go back and rewatch and not just kind of get the same story, but actually get maybe a different take on the story.
What did you think about the acting?
Before we touch on acting, there was actually one thing that I did not like. In Christopher Nolan style, so Michael Bay, another director, famous director, all his movies ring very similar to me. It's, Michael Bay movie, it's just gonna blow up, there's a bunch of like...
camera movements and explosions.
Which is not bad. I mean, I think some of his movies are great. Christopher Nolan, I have loved all of his movies, but I will say that this felt like it had some very Nolan-esque themes. It pulled some things from Interstellar, it kind of pulled some ideas and movements from Inception. I will say that while I found a lot of his work to be truly just like groundbreaking and original, this one, as far as Christopher Nolan movies go, might have been a little bit derivative.
I thought the movie maybe was potentially overly complex. And I
understand.
Sometimes felt like the dialogue was a little forced and overwritten or underdelivered. Overwritten or underdelivered, one of them. And so, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think I want to watch it again. And I think part of it could have been the small theater that we were in. Part of it could have been that we couldn't hear everything that we maybe wanted to hear. But
True.
I thought it was a good movie.
I thought it was great. You asked about the acting. I thought the acting was fantastic. I really like John David Washington. I think he's been just knocking them out of the park with a few of his movies. I thought Robert Pattinson was good. This is kind of the first serious role that I've seen from him, so it was good to see him in that light. He is your future Batman.
I liked him in this. I liked his character. I liked John David Washington. He did look, at some points, like his dad, Denzel.
I could see that.
There was one time when he looks at the camera and I was like, oh my God, he looks so much like Denzel.
Yeah. But no, I thought everyone was pretty fantastic. I do agree, though, there were a few lines that felt forced.
Yeah, forced.
And I'm not going to say it because it kind of gives away some things, but there's one scene where they're kind of coming to grasp with the gravity of the situation, and one character is so unilaterally focused on someone with...
Yes.
There's a line where I think I actually laughed in the theater because it felt so out of place. But I digress. I
felt like when the whole world is at stake, to focus on just one person, one little person
who's in the war. Okay, all right.
It's and that's why I think I felt like it was either overwritten or underdelivered some of the dialogue, and I felt like it happened too many times for me, for my taste.
I guess I was so enthralled I probably didn't pick it up too many times. But
here's the other thing. Now, Spencer is usually the first person to say he wishes that the backstory, that they did more on the backstory.
I love this movie.
And maybe this was the right amount of backstory for him, but actually I would have felt like I needed a little bit more backstory on the main character. I felt like there wasn't enough.
True.
There wasn't enough, especially for the level of complexity that the character was delivering throughout the movie, the level of conversation that he had throughout the movie. I mean, was he a super spy? How did he know so much about so many a wide variety of things? And so I wasn't so sold on the main character. I didn't buy into the character as quickly as I think I normally would have.
Okay.
And I also thought that, now rightfully so, the movie was long.
Yes,
You needed it. You needed it.
Yeah, to be complex, to not have this be some like multi-part thing, it definitely needed to be a little bit longer. I do agree that they could have given more of the backstory, which would have only added to length though, so they did need to make some compromises there. But I mean, you do get the background. Like the very opening scene, he is a CIA operative who happens to get captured. So you do know that he is some sort of like pretty badass spy. But I agree that like you get a snippet into his life before he gets kind of like thrown into the fire here of Tenet. So I understand your desire for a little bit more in-depth character analysis.
So this is the first big blockbuster movie that we've seen, a big epic movie. Should we get to scoring it?
I think so. I honestly could babble about this forever. So, I mean, there's, like I said at the very beginning, there's so much to unpack. I mean, we could probably go back and forth about like what happened, like how they even do the whole thing. Yeah,
absolutely. Because there was some stuff that I thought looked funny, and it was because you're seeing in real time two different time parallels in reverse and in forward motion. And so it looked funny, some of the
physics
like the
of
fight scenes.
Well, but and it's funny because like you have to wrap your mind around what's even happening to understand I think the best scene that explains it is when he's driving the car for the first time.
Yes.
It is not it is and it isn't a forward motion. Basically what's happening is normally we're gonna get deep, in linear time, right? Object A is moving to object B, okay? So you're punching a car forward, right? If you're in the reverse of time and you're doing the same motion, instead of a punch forward, it's a yank forward. You're pulling from this direction forward. The same action is happening, but it's not you punching forward, it's it being ripped forward instead.
Or pulled forward.
Yes. So some of it does, I had trouble, I struggled with it for a while in there, and I'm like, why does it look like this? And I was like, because it's not the same. The end result is the same, but the physics are reversed.
Yeah, there's definitely some moments where you have to kind of try and wrap your head around what you're seeing and why it looks not natural.
Yes.
And then as you continue to watch the movie, it makes more sense. But initially it's like...
It's funny too, because there's actually a line, now that I think about it, in the movie where it's almost said to the audience in effect, but it's actually said to the main character, is said, when you go back, you're going to be disoriented. You know, you give yourself a few minutes to orient, things aren't going to be quite as they seem. You know, you may see things a little bit differently, you may hear differently. And like, I mean, it's almost them telling us, because that's when we finally go back, and now that we have to kind of see things differently.
Yeah, so you almost go through the movie one way and then you go back through the movie the other way.
It's even more complicated than that, but yes. Yes.
All right, so should we score it now?
Now we can score it.
All right, what do you want to...
I think
you like this movie more than I did, so I'll let you go ahead and give it a score.
For me, it was quite a complex movie. I do see some shortcomings in the complexity and length. It's not going to be for everyone. This is a mind twister that you really have to track with. You have to be in that mood to have a really kind of deep, complex movie, and I can see it kind of having faults for that reason. I happen to love it. This is definitely my type of stupid, mind-bending movie. I am going to give this the highest score I've given a movie here yet. I think it's just because I'm super jazzed on it right now. I'll see more flaws later on, but I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Okay,
excellent. Like Spencer said, I like the movie too. I thought it was really complex. I love seeing a movie where I'm not I'm not able to guess what's happening next.
Right, yes.
Right? You don't see the ending before it gets there. It's a really complex movie, but I did think that some of it looked a little funny. I thought some of the acting was a little forced. I thought some of the dialogue was a little sounded funny to me, or it was under-delivered. So for me, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I thought the movie was great. I say it's worth your time and effort to go see it in a movie theater.
Agreed.
You heard it from us, the Movie Bros. Check Tenet out.
Yes. Hey, and please, if you have any comments, we'd love to talk about this movie. I'll definitely be happy to try to answer questions. I'm no expert. I'm just going to give you my take on things. But please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out, that YouTube algorithm.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Movie Bros out.